In this video, I'm sharing the latest travel information to Japan, from the new dynamic pricing of bullet train tickets to the new Kyoto Express buses. These are the things that you need to know to better plan for your trip. But first, did you know that restaurants in Tokyo are charging foreigners more than locals? One of the most amazing aspects about Japan is their delicious food. And with more and more foreigners coming into the country, restaurants in Japan, in particularly Tokyo, are starting to charge foreigners more for the same dishes. This is known as dual pricing, where there are two different prices involving higher priced menus for non-Japanese speakers. The first thing people often do when they go to a restaurant is ask for an English menu. Why? Because they don't speak Japanese. And this is where the higher pricing is usually displayed. But if you were to compare it to the local Japanese menu, you'll find that prices are often much lower. One of the main reasons for this is that tourists don't seem to mind paying for the higher amount for local Japanese food, often because it is much more expensive to have the same dish in their own countries, with fresh tuna or sea urchin needing to be imported from Japan. Not everyone is going to be happy with this, of course, and the government of Japan is looking into creating regulations to avoid deterring tourists from visiting Japan. My advice to anyone who's planning on visiting the country, and of course trying out their delicious food, is to first try and do some research from other travelers and avoid any restaurants that say they might have the dual pricing system. You can also use Google Translate to translate Japanese menus into English and understand what you're ordering. This ensures that you're always going to pay the same price as the locals. Now, starting July 1st, 2024, Japan is introducing dynamic pricing for the Kyushu Shinkansen line, which zooms between Hakata Station in Fukuoka and Kumamoto Station in just 32 minutes. But what exactly is dynamic pricing? Well, it means that the prices for advance tickets will vary based on the season, demand, and when you buy them. Tickets will be available at 4,200 yen, 3,800 yen, or 3,400 yen. So the earlier you snag your tickets, the more you save. And this is perfect for those who love to plan ahead. For now, there's no word on expanding the system to other Shinkansen lines, but it's going to be just a matter of time, so stay tuned. Kyoto is one of the top cities to visit in Japan, and starting June 2024, there's a new way to explore it. The City Council has introduced the Sightseeing Limited Express buses, which will take you directly from Kyoto Station to some of the city's most famous attractions. These buses run on weekends, national holidays, and during New Year's. The fare is super affordable at 500 yen for adults and 250 yen for kids. You'll be able to visit iconic spots like the Kiyomizu-dera Temple, Ginkakuji, and the Gion District. This service is a real time saver, letting you get to the sites early before the crowds hit. Just make sure to plan ahead and start your day early. If you've seen my videos on traveling in Japan, you know I always recommend getting a Suica or Pasmo cards. These rechargeable IC cards make paying for trains and buses an absolute breeze. Just tap and go. Apple users have had the advantage of using digital Suica cards on their phones since forever, but Android users haven't been as lucky, unless they bought their phones directly from Japan. Good news though, Japan Rail is introducing a QR ticket system for its trains. And starting in 2027, you'll be able to use QR codes to scan at ticket gates, making travel faster and reducing queues. This will be especially handy if you're rushing to catch your next train. I'm excited to share more updates as they come, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, you don't need me to tell you that Japan is an amazing place to explore, and it is important to stay updated in the latest travel requirements and changes. By subscribing to my channel, you get all the info you need to plan a memorable trip. While major cities like Kyoto and Tokyo are popular and often crowded, don't shy away from them completely. Instead, consider exploring less touristy areas as well. This way, you'll spend less time in crowded spots and more time discovering Japan's hidden gems, making your trip even more special.